Um, Before to that, I was actively involved with the Student Development Association, which was again started by the members of the MFID. Now, coming to my professional domain, Alhamdulillah, I ran a couple of companies. The first is CETMATRIX, which is totally a career and education company. Besides that, I also ran one healthcare company that is focused on the US regulatory affairs and as well as medical research. Now coming to the set matrix perspective, at set matrix, we are not a typical study abroad agency. Instead, we focus on helping students in getting fully funded scholarships or fully funded fellowships. And Alhamdulillah, we have a lot of candidates who got fully funded scholarships from the top universities of the world, including Rice, including Ohio State University, Georgetown, and a few more universities. Uh, in this webinar, I'm going to talk about how you can study totally free of cost in the Europe and how you can easily transition yourself from a student to a full-time working professional and from full-time working professional to a PR holder and from PR holder to the citizen of that country. Okay, now before to that, I'm just going to talk about few things. And before, okay, can you able to see my slides?
Yes, it is.
Okay, I believe my slides are just give me a moment. Just give me a moment. Okay, now mostly whenever we think about building an international career or international life, the usual thing that comes to our mind is to study at a world-class university, landing in high-paying corporate job, uh, getting your work visa sorted out, applying for the PR, and settling down in a safe, beautiful country, and moreover, a country that promises you a long-term settlement. But yeah, one more important thing is that whenever we think about moving to a different country, the usual things that comes to our mind is the English-speaking countries like the USA, the UK, Australia, Canada, and the New Zealand. And obviously, we have been taught that these are the only paths. But for the past couple of years, these paths are becoming kind of difficult. Now, when you see the USA, they are coming with various visa policies. For the Australia, it's again, they become quite strict when it comes to the student visa and obviously uh, their assessment policies. When it comes to the UK, again, they are cutting down the international students. And again, when it comes to the Canada, again, they're cutting down the international students. Now, these paths are kind of becoming difficult. Besides that, in these countries, there are no clear-cut pathway to the PR. Yes, Canada, to some extent, they promise a pathway to the PR, but besides that, the other countries like the USA, UK, they don't have a different pathway to the PR. So ultimately, the students go over there, they acquire an international degree, and after that, they work on the post-study work permit. And if they are lucky, then they will get a H1B in the USA, and if they are lucky, then they will get a surplus validity and 190 in Australia. But ultimately, the chances of getting a PR in these countries are very difficult. And when it comes to the USA, it's a kind of almost impossible because, sorry, when it comes to the USA, you have to first like at least work for a couple of years, then your company should sponsor you for the perm. Then after that, then there is a huge backlog of the green card, and once you get the green card, it will take at least 25 to 30 years. Now, and besides that, these countries, they always treat the entire students as a cash cow. So within these countries, the cost of tuition or the cost of education for the international students is almost three times higher than what the students or for this like almost three times higher than the normal students. So let's say a student or who is a citizen of the USA or a green card holder of the USA, they pay around $6,000 per year. The same international students, they have to pay 18,000 US dollar per year. So ultimately, when a student is moving to these countries like the USA, UK, or Australia, so if they're not getting a high-paying job or if they are not settling down in that country, then they won't get the exact ROI. And the most important thing you should understand is the main goal of education or the main goal of any higher education is that it should be accessible to each and every person and it should be in a very limited tuition fee. But ultimately, when you're moving to these countries, so you will be end up with a huge debt. So either you have to take huge education loans, or you just have to like mortgage or sell your property, or you have to like rely on the fake funds. Besides that, when you when it comes to when we are coming to the transition from the study to work permit, then again there is a kind of instability. So if you see, when it comes to the USA, you may get a good high paying job with the world's best companies. But if you're not lucky and you didn't got the H1B picked up, then obviously like after 3 years you have to leave for the USA. And again, when the same is with the UK. So let's say you move to UK and you spend your whole 2 years as a post-study, doing the post-study duration, and you didn't got any sponsor who are going to sponsor you on the tier 2 visa, then you have to move back to India. And the same is with the other countries also. So if you're not lucky when it comes to the work visa, then you have to move back to India. And when you're moving back to India, then it's not a simple move because you have to start your career right from the scratch, and there are a many implications behind it. So in short, because of this constant policy changes, this type uh, this type of international students decisions uh, it's quite becoming a kind of gamble. Now, I always say the US is the best country in the world when it comes to the education, when it comes to the research, when it comes to the quality, and obviously when it comes to the innovation. But if you're looking for the safe pathway, always evaluate your destinations. If you are research focused and if you want to build the next big thing in the technology or the next big thing in the healthcare or the next big thing in the biomedical, always consider Europe. Sorry, always consider the USA. But if you want a safe pathway to the PR, then look for the alternate destinations like the European countries. So today in this talk, we are going to talk about the European pathway. That is how you can study totally free of cost in the Europe or with a low tuition fees. Then uh, how you can really transition yourself from the study to the work and from the work to the PR and obviously from the PR to the citizenship. So this webinar is a kind of we are going to talk we are like the entire journey of your Europe is divided into four key steps. The first is we are going to like in this webinar we are going to talk about how you can study totally free of cost from the elite top rank university of the Europe with zero tuition fees or with the low tuition fees. And when I say low tuition fees, the tuition fees as low as 600 to 700 euro per semester or per year. The second is about the key scholarships. Now in the Europe there are many need-based scholarships and many merit-based scholarships like the DAD scholarship, the CAD scholarship, and as well as the Erasmus scholarships, and even the DSO scholarship of the Italy that are either the merit-based or that are either the need-based. Now, after that, the third thing which we are going to talk about, the simple job search. In the Europe, they are giving a lot of pathways to transition yourself from a student to the from a student visa to the work visa, and they have lot many pathways. Like they have the job search pathway, they have post-study work pathway, and moreover, they have the digital nomad tracks. So with these pathways, you can easily transition yourself from a student to the working professional. And after that, in this webinar, the first thing which we are going to talk about, the safest path with the PR. Now, in the Europe, they came up with a specific visa type, that is the EU blue card. So if you're getting a high paying job, and then you can easily apply for the EU blue card, and through that EU blue card, the pathway to your PR in the Europe will be as low as 2 to 3 years. Hello, just a second.
وانتي فيصل فاروقي.
Hello. Yep. Can you please mute your mics? Just a second. Okay, we will move the slides. I'm just talking about the introduction first. Now, when it comes to the Europe, uh, like Europe is not just a kind of scattered countries like the Asian countries or the African countries. The mainland Europe isn't just a collection of separate countries. It's like a kind of interconnected systems. In the Europe, they have a Schengen zone. So through that, if you are on a like work visa or student visa or the PR holder in the Europe, you can easily move to some other European countries. Let's say you are currently studying in Germany, and if you want to do your job search in Netherlands, so you can just take your flight, or you can just take a train and go to Netherlands, go for an interview without the visa hurdle. So in short, when you are in the Europe, you can easily travel to any of the 29 countries without any visa hurdle or without any travel permits. The second thing is that in the Europe, they always treat the healthcare, education, and safety as a basic human right. So that means if you are in the Europe, then you don't have to worry about like healthcare. Besides that, the European universities give a lot of subsidies to the education. The third thing is that, and that's the most important thing, there's huge talent shortage in the domain of healthcare, in the domain of IT, and obviously in the domain of manufacturing because of the aging population. And that is the reason the European universities, they are attracting the international talents, and even they are giving a lot of scholarships to these students. And when if you are into this segment, or if you're into this sector, then you can easily transition yourself on a PR without any hurdle. So let's move to the exact presentation. Okay. Now, before to that, let's compare the traditional uh, English-speaking countries and as well as the European countries. Now, when we talk about the traditional English-speaking countries, then the obvious thing that comes to our mind is the traditional destinations like the USA, UK, Canada, and Australia. And these universities, they have huge tuition fees because they don't give any subsidy to the international students. So that means your total tuition fees, it will be in the range of around 18,000 to 20,000 US dollar per year. And besides that, there are a lot many other expenses. And the most important thing is that as an investment in these countries, like the English-speaking countries, you have to pay the tuition fees 3 times more the fees that a local student has to pay. Besides that, when it comes to these countries like the USA or uh, the UK, the pathway to get a sponsorship is very difficult. Now, when it comes to the USA, they have a bottleneck of the H-1B visa, and when it comes to the UK, they increase the salary requirement for the international applicant to as high as 41,000 pounds, and most of the companies, they are not even ready to hire international talent with that high salary. So that means any student who is going to the UK for the international education, they just coming back with a UK degree in just 4 years, and after that they are either thinking of some other destinations, or they just think of planning to start their career right from the scratch in India. Now, when it comes to the European countries, the first thing, and that's the best thing, is that in the Europe, like they don't consider education as something a cash generating machine. So a lot of public universities in the Europe, they offer the tuition at a very low fees, or at a very minimal fees, or sometimes like with a zero fees. Besides that, they just charge a minimum semester fees in the range of around uh, 500 to 600 euro. And apart from that, as I told you, that in the Europe there are a lot many scholarships, so through which you can easily live in the UK. And those scholarships not just cover your tuition, they even cover your living expense, they even cover your flight expense, and even your visa expenses also. And apart from that, the Europe, they have various pathways, like various work pathways, that is EU Blue Card, and the Austria Red White Red Card. So through that, you can easily transition yourself from from the work visa to the PR in the duration as low as around 3 to 4 years. Besides that, a lot of European countries, let's say if you want to move to Europe as a family, so a lot of European countries, they are even giving pathway to settle or to move along with your spouse or along with your kids with ease. And besides that, there are not many countries like Finland and even Sweden. They have a very high quality primary education, and moreover, you can easily educate your kids totally free of cost, even if you are on the student visa. Now, if you see the side-by-side comparison of the European countries and as well as English-speaking countries, the Europe, but obviously the tuition fees are very low. And when I say low, it's as low as around uh, 1,000 euro or 2,000 euro. So there is a tuition fees which even you pay in India. Like in India, a lot of colleges or a lot of universities, you have to pay the fees in the range of around 1.5 to 2 lakh rupees, even for the engineering. So you are getting same high quality education with the tuition fees. And even if you see, there are a lot many top rank universities which are constantly ranked among the QS top 100. That includes TU Munich, TU Berlin, ETH, and as well as Indonesia. So so in short, you're getting a high quality education with a fees as low as around 1 lakh to 2 lakh rupees. Besides that, when you are studying in those European countries, you will getting access to the world class research, and moreover, there is a high chance that you may uh, tutored by some Nobel laureate. Now, when you see the English-speaking countries, the tuition fees, obviously it will be in the range of around uh, like 18 20,000 dollar per year, and so overall the tuition fees, it will be high in the range of around at the end of your total like at the end of around 2 years, you'll be just spending around 30 to 40 lakhs for the masters, and around 40 to 50 lakhs for the bachelors. Besides that, the cost of living is very high. But the most important thing is that the pathway to the PR. Because when you are moving in any country, you should obviously understand. You should even see that whether that country is offering clear-cut pathway to the PR or not. If they are not offering clear-cut pathway, or they're just giving some type of false promises, then and at the end of the day, you are just like have to plan your exit, or you just have to look for some loopholes so that you can stay permanently in that country. There are a lot many students, or there are a lot many candidates which I know personally, like they got the H1B, and even the company applied for the EP2, but ultimately the green card backlogs is very high. And like if they're not it like because of like getting fired from the job, they have to think for the alternate destination, or they have to come back to India. Now, as a consultant, even I consult a lot of candidates on the own visa. They got the own visa, but ultimately it's all about getting the green card. And if you're not getting green card, then you just have to come back to India. And the biggest now when it comes to the UK, the biggest hurdle is that they increase the sponsorship fees. So there are not many companies, they are not ready to hire in any average international student with that high salary. So so if you're planning to decide about your destination for the higher education, then you should always look for these things, like the tuition fees, and obviously there are a lot many other things like the industry presence, and obviously the language and the cost of living. So now when we are talking about the European countries, so when it comes to the European countries, there are almost 29 countries, so we have to decide accordingly. Now, when it comes to the Germany, they offer the almost a kind of negligible tuition fees. And in this webinar, we are mostly taking Germany as our reference point because of the low tuition fees and because of the higher chance of getting a job, and obviously uh, because of like it uh, better part-time job opportunities. Besides that, there are other countries like Netherlands, France, Spain. Even they offer pretty great study options, and even more, you can easily work for the you can easily work in part-time, like you can easily do the part-time jobs also. Now, when you considering any academic hub or any academic destination in the Europe, these are the things which you have to look. The first thing is that what type of tuition free public model, the tuition free model they are offering. So now when it comes to the Germany, they have very less tuition fees. When it comes to the France, they offer a lot of subsidized rate at the public institutions. And when it comes to the Nordic region, they don't offer state away the waivers. Instead, what they do give is the kind of RA opportunities or the TA opportunities. So the students, they have to work for the particular university to get that fee waivers. And besides that, when you are moving to a particular country, even you have to the education or to the tuition will be in the English language. Besides that, you even have to see like besides that, you even have to see whether that university is offering any top-up course for the local language, because to the tuition it will be in the English. But beyond the tuition, you have to interact with the local people. Let's say your peer group, or let's say your university admin department. Let's say even your uh, like office department, and even the local market. So you have to learn a basic of the local language. So there is a reason a lot of universities they even offer the foundation program in the local language. Like a lot of German universities, they offer the rich courses in the German language, and a lot of uh, like Dutch universities, they offer bridge programs in the Dutch language. And even more, these universities, they even offer you a smooth transition in the local culture. Like they even offer you some local culture or the industry bridge programs. Besides that, whenever you are considering any European country, even you have to look whether you have to go for a complete or you have how you have. Guys, can I just take a break for a couple of minutes? Just give me a minute. I'll just take a sip of water and we'll come back. Assalamu alaikum. So I'm very sorry about it. Okay, so now when you are think of studying in any European university, then you have to consider few things. The first is that what is the tuition fee model they are offering, and besides that, even you have to look like what type of industry you are planning to move. So if you like Germany, they have a clear-cut state pathway. Then even for the international students, they have to pay the less tuition fee. In the France, they offer a very specialized subsidies for the international students. When it comes to the Nordic region, they don't offer straight away the tuition fee waivers. Instead, they make the international students to take the position of the RA or the GA or the TA, and after that, they will give certain type of stipends. Besides it, when you're moving to any European country, in the Europe, there are various specific hubs. Now, when it comes to the tech, the Munich is the ultimate hub. When it comes to the premium luxury or the fashion market, the Paris is the hub. When it comes to the semiconductor or the hardware, the Netherlands is the hub. When it comes to the AI, again, the Germany is the hub. When it comes to the smart cities, the Barcelona is the hub. So if you're planning to move to any European country, even you have to consider like what type of industry you are planning to move. So if let's say if you are from the tech background, and then it doesn't make sense for you to move or to plan for a career in the France or particularly in the Paris, because there isn't any specific hub. So the reason behind is that if you're moving to a particular city that is considered as the hub, then there is a very high chance that you may land the high paying job right after your graduation. Besides that, you can easily find a lot of local internships, because in the European universities, there is particular, like a lot of universities, they will make you to take a industry sponsor industry sponsor internship or industry sponsorship projects. Besides that, whenever you are planning to move to any European country, like you have to see like how much important is learning the local language in that particular country. Now, when it comes to the German, you can easily you can easily take up a job in any German company without learning the local language. But when you're planning to apply for the PR, you should have at least A2 or B1 level understanding of the German language to apply for the PR. Now, when it comes to the Spain, even for applying for the PR, there isn't any requirement for the local language. Now, when it comes to Netherlands, Netherlands is one of the few European countries where almost 90% of the people speak the English language. So that means you can either transition or you can easily manage without learning the local language. So whenever you are thinking of any European country, you even have to see uh, PR means like permanent residency. So whenever you are planning to move to any European country, you have to take into consideration each and everything. Because let's say if you're not ready to learn the local language, then it doesn't make sense for you to move to a country that gives a very high importance to the local language. And apart from that, you even though the tuition fees will be the subsidized, or there will be like almost a minimum tuition fees, but there is another aspect of studying in that particular country, and that is the cost of living. Now, a lot of European countries, what they uh, introduce you is that if you're planning to move to that, or if you're planning to come to that particular country, you should either deposit your entire living expense in that particular country bank, and that particular country bank will give you a monthly payment from your own money, and that is known as block amount. So few countries like Germany and Austria, they have that block amount concept. Few other countries, they don't have that block amount concept, but instead you have to show that particular block amount in your savings account for almost six months. Okay, and the most apart from that, there are lot many scholarships which even covers this living expenses also. And Alhamdulillah, there are many candidates who are studying totally free of cost, and even they don't have to pay the uh, like this the living expense or the block amount after getting this type of scholarships. I will come to all these questions at once. Now, coming to the most important thing of the admission process. Now, when it comes to the admission process of the European countries, like in the Europe, Europe is one of the few countries where they give or where they don't have just like or they are flexible when it comes to the admission policies. Like they are okay with the age gap because they consider that even a person with a significant age gap, if they have the sufficient reason, then they can study. And
Yes.
moreover, apart, even if the candidate has a very less GPA, then if they have certain things to show on their profile, then they can study in the particular European countries. So in short, the European countries.
अभी उसका वो अभी वो नहीं आया प्रोसेस, वो नहीं आया टाइम शेड्यूल इंटरव्यू का लड़के का.
Okay. And even what the European universities do is that they will look at your holistic profile. So let's say there are two candidates. The one candidate, they got a 9 GPA, but they don't have anything to show on their profile. But on the contrary, there is another student who got 7 GPA, but he has got a lot of research papers. He has got a lot of top-notch projects, and even more, they have something, a lot of significant thing to show on their CV. So obviously, the second candidate with 7 GPA will get land that admission, and moreover, even will land their particular scholarships. But the most important thing is that when you're planning to move to any European country, you always have to start early because the admission cycle is very long. And the European countries, they are not fast compared to the English-speaking countries, and the admission process will last almost 6 to 8 months. And mostly before starting for the admission, you have to manage take into consideration other steps like verifying your degree, doing APS or other apostille and everything. And once you submit the application, then they will evaluate, and the evaluation will take at least 2 months. And once the evaluation is done, then you have to like submit your documents at the respected VFS. And once the submission is done, then you will get a visa. So in short, the overall process will be around 6 to 8 months. So on the safe side, when you're planning to move to Europe, always take a buffer time of at least 8 months. And as I told you, that few European countries, including Germany and Austria, there is a specific concept known as the block amount. So that means you have to like deposit your entire living expense for 1 year in that particular country account. And as I told you, that when it comes to the admission requirement, the first and foremost thing, they will look at your like bachelor's or the intermediate marks. Besides that, they have their own English or the language proficiency. If you're planning to move to Germany, they only accept IELTS or TOEFL, and few countries like Spain, they are okay with the MOI letter, and few countries they are okay with the other language test also. And here we are talking mostly about uh, the English speaking courses, because in these European countries they have even other courses also, but we are not going to talk about it. And the most important thing is that the European countries, they are very much strict about the education document verification. So they do their own education documents verification. So if at all, so you have to take into consideration that at least the student document verification will take at least 1 month. So you have to take these things also into consideration. So as I told you, the Europe is not just about the low tuition fees. It's about the top-notch scholarships. And these scholarships not just cover your tuition, this covers your living expense, this cover your accommodation, this cover your even the flight tickets also. So that means, in short, you will be saving almost 75,000 euro to 100,000 euro during these 2 years. by just getting the scholarships. And these scholarships includes the famous Erasmus program, the Erasmus Mundus. So that it covers your full tuition, your monthly living expenditure, your travel expense, and even it too covers your flight ticket also. The DAD scholarship, the famous Germany scholarship, it covers the like your living expense, your health insurance, and your local travel allowances. And this DAD scholarship, it covers like it's mostly offered for the masters and the PhD students.
Oh, man.
And the
That's so
third
perfect.
is the EPIL Excellence. This offered by the it's like for the French education, and mostly it's for the students who are planning to study masters and the PhD. And this particular scholarship covers your travel, and moreover, it instead of giving you or covering your living expense, it will give you a stipend in the range of around 200 euro to 1800 euro based on your particular city and as well as particular course. Besides that, there is CAT scholarship again, mostly for the Germany, and it's like a kind of for the students who are applying for the high-end technical courses. The NL scholarship, as I told you, it's a famous Dutch scholarship then for the students who are planning to study in the Netherlands. And besides like totally waiving your tuition fees, it will give you a semester wise or the yearly stipend of or the scholarship of around 5,000 euro. And there is Swiss government scholarship of uh, covering tuition fees. And this particular scholarship, they will just look at this Swiss government scholarship is mostly focused on the people who are planning to study banking and finance programs. And besides that, there is SISGP scholarship, Invest Your Talent, and the DSU Tally. And the last scholarship, that is the DSU Tally, is not a merit-based scholarship. Instead, it's a need-based scholarship. So that means if your parents' income is less than 30,000 euro, so that means around 20, less than 25 lakhs per year, then you can easily apply for the DSU Tally. And there are a lot many candidates who are studying with this DSU Talent Scholarship, and this scholarship, it will cover your tuition, it will cover your living expense, and moreover, with this DSU Tally, you will even get accommodation easily. And the best thing is that not many Indians, they are eligible for this DSU Tally scholarship. So once you so that means you can with this type of scholarship, you don't even have to worry about your living expense also. So now coming to the most important thing is that now that you have completed your European education and everything is done, you got a high paying landing job. Now the next important step is that after uh, after getting your degree or after the completion of your degree, the next stage comes a job search visa. So in this slide, we are just talking about how the entire post-study transition happens in the in the Europe. The first stage is the completion of the degree. So once your degree is completed, the next stage comes the job search. So the European countries, they offer the job search duration of around 12 to 18 months. And in this duration, like a lot of countries, they even offer you uh, rights to work full time. So that means you can easily work 40 hours and even you can take a full time job also. So, and once you take a full time job and once you take a full time job, then let's say if the company is ready to sponsor you as their employee, then the company will do all the process. So they will apply for the work permit, and if at all if you're falling into that limit, the salary limit of around 35,000, 40,000, or 50,000 euro, then you can apply for the EU blue card. And once you get the EU blue card, the pathway to your PR will be less as 2 to 3 years. In the next slide, we are just going to talk about EU blue card in detail. But for the timing, so just consider the EU blue card is as a simple thing as it's one of the fastest pathway to the PR. Now coming to the in-demand skills and the tech sectors in the Europe. So let's say if you're planning to move to Europe, then just don't go for any XYZ course. Instead, go for the course that are very much in demand, because in the Europe there is a huge shortage of the talented manpower because of the aging population. So if you're planning to move to Europe, then these are the top in demand skills. The first is the software engineering. When it comes to software, as you know, it covers a lot of things. Second is the AI and data analytics, because when it comes to the EU data regulations, uh, because of this EU AI regulations, there is a huge demand for the talented AI and as well as the data professionals. Third is the biotech and the life sciences. And uh, when it comes to the biotech and the life sciences, there is a big market in Switzerland. There's a big market in the Ireland, and there's a big market in the Germany. And when it comes to the Switzerland market for the biotech, is the Switzerland is the world's the hub for the biotech industry or the pharma industry. And the same is with the Ireland. Ireland has the headquarter of almost top pharma companies and the top biotech companies. So that means if you're moving to these countries with this skill set, then you can easily land a high-paying job in less than 6 months. Besides that, there's huge demand for the people in the robotics domain, electrical engineering domain, that includes the electrical engineering and computer engineering. And there is a huge demand for the healthcare specialist. And besides that, the renewable energy and renewable energy, particularly in the ESC domain. And I will just give you one example. Like a couple of my friends, they are working on the ESC projects, and those projects are being sponsored by the World Bank. So when it comes to the European country, there is a huge demand for the people who are from this renewable energy and the ESC domain. So if you're planning to move to European countries, instead of just moving randomly, uh, just go for the sector which are in huge demand. And moreover, always consider that, always look for that particular hub. If you are from let's say if you're from the pharma background, then it doesn't make sense for you to move to Spain, because Spain is a hub for the smart cities. You should always, if you're from the pharma background or if you're from the biotechnology background, always look for the countries like Switzerland or the Ireland. But instead, if you're from the AI, then go for Munich. And if you're from the hardware or the semiconductor, then go for the Amsterdam, that is the Netherlands. So that's how you should plan when you're planning to move to European countries. And the most important thing is that about understanding of the European work permits. In the Europe, there are different type of the visas. The first is a standard visa, that is national work visa. And the national work visa is that if any company is going to sponsor you, then they'll just sponsor you with a normal work visa. And the normal work visa is a common visa, and there isn't any limit for the salary. Even if you're getting a 20,000 euro or 25,000 euro salary, then you can easily get a work visa. And after that, after spending a couple of years in that country, then you can easily transition for in the permanent residency, and after that you can easily apply for the citizenship. But in the Europe, they come up with a different pathway, and they call it as like EU blue card. So what they do is that, just to attract the best minds of the world, uh, uh, they come up with a specialized visa, and they call it as EU blue card. The EU blue card is not for a particular country. So what they do is that uh, they build certain metrics that the person should be from the particular skill set, and moreover, they should have a certain salary limit, and even they should have a bachelor's degree. And if at all, if you are like landing a job, and if you're getting the eligibility to EU blue card, so that means after 1 year, you don't even have to worry about the European mobility. So let's say you got a job in the Germany, and that is the salary, with the salary limit, with salary of around 45,000 euro. And after 1 year, you got another job in Netherlands, then you can easily move to Netherlands from Germany without worrying about the visa, uh, like visa transition. So like there's a very small clerical things just to just to make a transition from the one country to other country when you are on the EU blue card. That's the first thing. The second thing is that because these are the highly skilled professional, so what is European countries came up with this, that if you're from on the EU blue card, then the pathway to get your permanent residency will be as low as around 2 to 3 years or 4 years. So that means you can make the Europe as your permanent home in less than a couple of years. Now, as I told you that the EU blue card, they have a different requirement. So if you are planning to work, or if you're in the Germany, then the limit for the requirement for getting the EU blue card is that you should have a salary of around 45,000 euro per year. And if that sector is in the shortage category, then the limit will be 41,000 euro. And the France is for 53,000, and the Netherlands is around 5,000 euro per month. And there is a specific, again, there is Spain. The limit is as low as around 35,000 euro. So every country, they have a different type of requirement based, they have different type of threshold based on their requirement. And if they feel that there is a demand for there's a huge shortage for the particular skill set, even they are lowering their threshold for avoiding the e-blue card. But the most important thing is that now once you get once you get the once you get the job and once you get the EU blue card, next step comes the permanent residency, because that's how you are going to make Europe as your permanent home. So the standard timeline for the PR or for the permanent residency in the Europe varies from country to country. So in the Germany, the PR pathway is as low as around 2 to 3 years, and for some countries like Spain, is 5 years. For Netherlands, again, it's 5 years. For France, it's 10 years, and there are few more countries like Poland is 4 years. So it's again differ from country to country, but but in short, there's a specific pathway to get APR. And the most important thing which you should understand is that for getting a European job or for getting a EU blue card, you don't have to study in the Europe. There are a lot many clients of mine, they move to Europe with a job right from India, and they are from sectors like banking sector, and they are from the sectors like cybersecurity sector, EHS sector. So there is a high chance that even if you don't have the European degree, but if you are an expert in your field, you can easily land a high-paying job in the European country, and you can easily make Europe as your permanent home. Within a couple of years through this e-blue card pathway. And let me give you one example. There was one candidate. He did his bachelor's from a college in Hyderabad. There is a CBR college. And right after his bachelor's, he landed a job with JP Morgan Chase as an AI engineer. And after that, he moved to Ireland in with another bank with a salary of around uh, 55,000 euro. So there are a lot many instances where the candidates are moving to Europe with high paying job based on their skills itself. And besides it, if you think that if you're planning to move to Europe, in the Europe, there are different pathways also. So in the Germany, they came up with the opportunity cards. So that means you can easily move to Germany with this opportunity card and look for the job for 1 year. And during this 1 year, even you can do the part-time job also. Again, the Austria, they have a job seeker visa. So these countries, just to invite the top talent, they even came up with a job seeker visa. So that means, so what they're telling is that you come to our country, look for the job, and during this job search period, you can do the part-time job also. And if you're finding a high-paying job, you can easily transition yourself from the job seeker visa to the full-time visa. And there are like we have one student who is a transition himself from the job seeker visa to the full-time job. And so first he moved to Germany and on a opportunity card, and after that he landed a job. And after that he moved to Netherlands. And Alhamdulillah, he applied for the PR, and inshallah very soon he will be applying for the citizenship. So there are a lot of instances where this candidates they got like they built a career in the European countries through this job seeker pathway also. So if you're planning to move to Europe, the education is not just the only pathway. Education is one of the simplest pathway, because you'll be getting the European network, and you'll be getting a European degree. But besides that, if you are highly skilled, you can easily even use the you blue card pathway to high paying job right from India, or else you can even use the job seeker pathway also. And um, and after that, once you get once you get the EU blue card, then you can apply for the citizenship. Sorry, once you get the PR, then after that, the ultimate pathway
మంచి
is
పాయింట్ చెప్పారు. యా ఐ అండర్స్టాండ్ యువర్ కన్సర్న్. తెలుగులో నీ బాధ నాకు అర్థమైంది అంటారు. ఏం చేస్తావంటే ఒక చిన్న పని ఈ మహిళలందరినీ.
Can you just mute? Okay, so once you get the permanent residency, the next ultimate step is the citizenship. Now, when it comes to the citizenship, they have their own requirement. For getting the citizenship, the requirement is that you should learn the local language, because that's how you are going to integrate with the local culture. So different countries have their own different requirements. Like when you are after getting the PR, if you are spending around 5 years in Germany, then you can apply for the citizenship. Again, the France, they are actively reducing the the citizenship pathway for the candidates who did their masters from France. And if you completed your masters from the France, then you can apply for the citizenship right after 2 years after getting your PR. And again, the Netherlands and Sweden, they have like a pathway of up to 5 years to get a citizenship. And the best thing is that there are few countries, even though don't have a requirement for the local language to get a citizenship. So in short, if you're planning to build your career in in any country, and if you're looking for the long-term settlement, then besides USA, you should always look for the destinations beyond. You should look for destinations like the European countries, because these European countries, they have a clear-cut pathway to the PR and as well as the citizenship. I always say that US is the best country for the innovative minds and for getting a high paying job and as well as earning a lot of money. But if you want a piece of if you just want a peace in life, and if you want a good work-life balance, then you should consider Europe. Any questions? So let me just take all the questions. Yes, PR means permanent residency, and like every country they call like some countries they gave a different name. In the US, they call it as like green card, and some countries they just say PR. And in the UK they call it as ILR, that is indefinite leave to remain. Age and studies cap. Okay, if you are giving a justified reason for the age or for the studies, they will accept it. But there should be justifiable reason for it. Yes, you can become a citizen of the Europe if you are like in the particular if you're just following the right pathway. Yes, there are a lot many PhD programs, and the PhD programs in Europe is fully like it's a fully funded, so you don't have to spend any money. Instead, you will be getting stipend. Uh, there are a lot many MBA programs. So obviously, when it comes to the MBA, like a lot of my candidates, they always look for the business schools like INSEAD or top other business schools. Besides that, there are a lot many MBA programs that are fully funded, so you don't have to worry about your tuition fees. Uh, yes, there are a lot many scholarships for even for the bachelor's program. And if you're from the low income group, then you can apply for the DSO Italy that covers that is the need-based scholarship. Uh, no, Miss Nureen, the pathway process to get a scholarship is not just about writing the exams. They will look at your profile, like what type of things you did, what unique thing is you're going to bring to that particular country, and you're going to bring to that particular university. So they just want some innovative minds. They don't want some regular minds. So they will look at your essay, they will look at your CV, each and everything. But in short, there aren't exams. There are no exams for it. They will ask you to write an essay. Okay, Abdullah, if you're from the tech background, that is from the core branch, go for Germany. The easiest country in the Europe for the PR, if you are ready to learn the German language, I say Germany. But if you're not ready to learn the local language, Spain. Again, the age limit for the bachelor's is different, for the master's is different. Yes, you can apply for the DSO scholarship even for the MBA colleges also. Ms. Noor, yes, you can apply for the degree. What they look is that the bachelor's degree in the Europe is of 180 credits. So if they will try to convert your Indian credits to the European credits, and if your credits are matching, then you can easily apply it. So in short, you can easily apply to the master's after completion of your bachelor's. Yes, they will consider internship as an experience too. And obviously, they will just because they will look at your CV in detail. Like they won't just give you a kind of basic look. They will just give you a very holistic look of your CV. Abu Bakr, the age limit, it depends. Like what type of course you are applying for the masters. There are many students who even applied of like at the age of around 30 to 31 years of age. Okay, now let me give you one story. It's this a real life this a real thing. There was a cousin of mine, and we both studied. Uh, we played together. Alhamdulillah, we studied together. And that guy, he was no, so not just CV, your essay, your SOP, each and everything. Okay, I will just tell you one story. There was one candidate of, there was a very good friend, my relative, my childhood friend, everything. So he was from till 10th, he was a kind of average guy, and he was a kind of from a middle class family. But after bachelor's, he did his master's from the famous university, that is the King Fahd University. And at King Fahd, he got opportunity to do his one semester with the MIT. Now, with this, what he did, like he developed some unique projects in the domain of environment, in the domain of petroleum, and in the domain of sustainability. And that project was sponsored by various governments and various companies, including Saudi Aramco. What after that, he got the famous scholarship, that is the Erasmus scholarship. And through that scholarship, the European government invited him to do a unique PhD, and that PhD, it was in the 3 different countries, and within 4 years, he was awarded with 3 different PhDs from 3 different universities. And during this 4 years, he traveled almost every country of the Europe, uh, including Netherlands, including Spain, including Poland, including Germany. And after that, after completion of the scholarship, he worked for the German Aerospace Center, that is the equivalent of the NASA for the Europe. And after that, he did his postdoc from again the world's best university, that is the University of Calgary. So what the Europe is famous for, like inviting talents and as well as molding them. Again, which is the best university for the CSE in Germany? Again, this depends like based on your GPA. If you got a good GPA, then TU Munich, TU Berlin are the best universities. But if you're looking for if you don't have good GPA, then there are like University of Trier. University of Trier, they have a very good course on the NLP and as well as the LM and the AI. So they have a lot of good courses.
Safe of Broadway, as he left.
I think there's some network issue with him. Let's close this call. You all have his LinkedIn profile. You can connect over there, inshallah.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Jazakallah khair. Right, Jazakallah khair.
Can we end the session?